Hey guys, we're back. So today I want us to talk about environment. So I truly believe that your environment is a big influencer on how successful you become. So if you're in places that have low end people or low quality people, uh, there's very high chances that you're going to lower your standards and come down to those people's level. So that's really gonna limit your success. So I truly believe if you want to move forward faster, you should get closer to the people that are operating at a higher level. You should be in an environment that people are reaching higher successes, right? Whether maybe it's finding a mentor or moving to a big city or just even watching people that you look up to on YouTube or on social media. It also has the same effect. That's uh, so that's one thing that has really held me back for quite some time. When I was younger, so right now I'm 27. When I was a bit younger, maybe 20, 21, when I was still in university, I used to hang around um people that were not as ambitious as I was, people that didn't dream as big as I did. Not to say that they're bad people, but that's just not what they wanted for their lives, you know. Me, I wanted, a different path. I wanted, to uh, go beyond what I've seen the people around me or the people I was around at that time uh, had had been achieving, right? So, and it took me a while to sort of realize that my environment was really holding me back. It's only after I left university that I got a bit more exposure of what's out there, and the fact that the world is bigger than I actually thought it was. You know, I even remember this. The time when my last year in university. When I had to leave, I really didn't want to leave because I was so comfortable in that environment. Uh, I couldn't, I couldn't fathom any other environment outside of that. In my mind, I thought I was going to get a job closer to my university, then I'll just continue studying there. I saw myself succeeding there, and not anywhere else. But that was the wrong type of thinking for me. So it's only when I left, I got my first job right out of university. So immediately I moved to Pretoria, which is a big city, and which was definitely a big city for me. Coming from a place that's a little less from a small town, I guess. That university is in a small town. Coming from that place and moving to a big city, I got a lot of exposure. It showed me that there's higher levels out there. But I was still struggling back then. But when I first got my first job, there was the first bit of money. There was the first time I actually started to have some money. Before that, I was just broke all the time. I couldn't afford to take my girlfriend out, couldn't buy myself clothes, couldn't do anything. You know, so I even remember this. So when I first moved to Pretoria, and after my first paycheck, when I went to buy groceries at the store, at the supermarket, that was the first time I was not worried about the bill and how much things Not that, I was balling and I could buy whatever, the whole shop or anything like that, but it was the first time that I was buying the food that I usually buy, but I wasn't worried about can I afford it, or should I leave this, should I take that, should I spend way less, you know. Um, so yeah, I believe an environment is a very big uh, how can I put it? It's a big influencer on how successful you become. Even for the past few years, what I did was, because the past few years I've been just grinding, just going all out. The past 3 years I didn't miss a day of working out. I was working out every single day, just trying to build my mindset and fortify uh, my mentality. So it really changed me a lot. Um, it really helped me develop my character. So how I was able to do that wasn't because um, uh, I was just born with the ability to just do that, or born with that discipline. That's not the case at all. How I was able to achieve that was, uh, I curated my environment, right? So even though I wasn't making as much money, so I couldn't afford to be in these high end places and things like that, but I curated my mind. So what I did was, I made sure that I created an environment around myself, a virtual environment of where everyone I see is in crazy shape, right? They're just ripped, they're jacked, they're built, just great physiques. I created that in my mind. And how I did that was, um, I stopped watching TV. I stopped watching content that, uh, that didn't teach me anything or help improve my life. I stopped watching entertainment basically. So I was always watching, even on YouTube, I was always watching guys um, that talk about fitness and getting in shape, um, and that type of lifestyle, right? So that's what I was constantly thinking about all day, every day. So I was creating that environment in my mind, because in my reality where I was, when I looked outside, I didn't see people like that. I didn't see people that were in shape, that were jacked. They just had great physiques. They looked good. They took care of themselves. I didn't see that. I only saw people that were out of shape, that were fat. Yeah, sure, they had money, maybe they'll have a nice car, they have money, but they just didn't look good. Even when they dress up, they wear nice clothes, they just didn't look good because they were out of shape, right? So I wanted a different path for myself. So I created that environment in my mind, in that I saw myself in those gyms with those guys, that I was watching on YouTube, who were in shape and things like that. Um, I saw myself with them, uh, and I created that environment in my mind. So even let's say you, for example, if you're wherever you are right now and you look outside, you don't see the things that you aspire to be. You don't see maybe the cars that you want to drive, um, the people you want to be like. If you can see that in your reality, you have to create it in your mind. You have to create that environment in your mind so that you can rise up to that standard. Um, and that's really gonna help you a lot. For me, that's how I did it, and that's how I'm still doing it even now. Even now, I just moved into this place. I think I've been here for like 2 months. But when I look outside, it's a very nice place. It's a nice looking place. Um, Maybe let me show you guys. It's a nice looking place. Yeah, it's not too bad. But the problem with me with this place is that at the parking lot where I parked my car, the cars next to the parking spots next to me and the people who are parked next to me, they're not driving the cars that I want to drive. So that's a big sign for me that I'm in the wrong environment. So the one good thing about it is that it's a big complex, so there are maybe few people, maybe five, maybe 4 or 5 people that drive really nice cars. Those cars that cost like twice as much as my car, um, or more, like the nice sports cars. So at least moving from where I'm moving from, and then coming here, at least I can go outside, maybe going outside of the complex. As I'm walking, I can see those nice cars. Some of them are okay. I never used to see this a lot, but I realized that the parking spot where I park my car and I look at the people around, where that are next to my parking spot, they're not driving the cars that I aspire to drive. They're even driving cars that are less expensive than mine. So I was even thinking about it the other day. Man, this is it's really pissing me off, you know. Um, yeah, I was genuinely pissed about it. Fuck, I think I came to the wrong place. The place looks nice, it's beautiful, but the people are just not pushing those higher levels that I'm looking for. So I've been thinking about moving to Sandton. I'm finding a place in Sandton. It's gonna be expensive. So maybe some of you who are not from South Africa, Sandton, I think it's known as the richest square mile in Africa. So, I wanna move closer to there. I wanna move closer to the money. I wanna move closer to people uh, that are pushing at a higher level than I am. People that are far further along than where I am right now. Um, so that I can acclimatize to that and get up to their level, right? Even where I am right now, I'm not really satisfied. I'm not happy. I want more. I want to do more. I want to achieve more. But it's going to be very difficult even if I don't know those people personally. But if I'm not in an environment where the people around me are pushing me to higher levels, right? So let's say maybe if I find a good spot in Sandton and where I park my car, my parking spot, and I look at the cars next to it, and they are more expensive than my car, like way more expensive, then that means I'm in the right place. So yeah, I'm still looking around. So we'll see. Maybe I might find something. Then I'll move there. So yeah, I'm still close to Sandton. I'm like 30 minutes away, but it's still quite a drive. So I'll try to move closer. Yeah, then we'll see what happens. So I just wanted to have a bit of a talk with you guys that environment is very important. The people that you surround yourself with are very important. And if, let's say, maybe uh, your family doesn't have the mindset that you have, doesn't want to achieve more like you want to, you have to raise them up to that level. You have to show them. You have to show them, though. You can't try to talk them into it. You have to be your best self and achieve the things that you want to achieve, not all at once, but bit by bit, and show them that you are actually aiming for more. So that's going to influence them to try harder, right? So because you can change your friends, but you can't change your family. So the only thing you can do is just raise them up to that level. And there's a few ways to do that. So yeah, maybe we'll talk about that in a later video. But yeah, you have to raise them up to a higher standard, because if you don't, then if you go up and they're still down here, what they're gonna do, they're gonna pull you down. That's just human nature. They're not gonna appreciate the amount of effort you put in to get to where you are, because they didn't try, or didn't even put an ounce of that amount of effort, right? So yeah, so what you have to do is you have to raise them up to that level. So maybe we might talk about that in a later video, but yeah, for now, because I went over my 10-minute target for this video, now it's 16 minutes, but it's fine. So we'll talk again tomorrow, guys. See you then. Peace.